Hi, how are you? Please introduce yourself and the corporation, organization you are here for.
Hi, so my name's Philip Auerbach. My company is called Auerbach International Inc., and another venture is called the EEIC Group.
Tell me about the
Auerbach.
Auerbach International with the clients and cultures and countries. How do you do that?
Um, yeah, so primarily we expand clients into countries and cultures, and we do that primarily through communication, through verbal or written communication. So we take any kind of content and put it into an infinite number of languages, like 200
Oh
languages,
wow.
to empower people to communicate with each other in different ways. And we do primarily non-English markets, but we can also do uh, cross markets. For example, people who speak Portuguese need to speak to Chinese people, people who speak Italian need to speak to Arabs, and so forth.
Oh, okay. And whom do you serve?
We primarily serve companies of all sizes, from solopreneurs to Fortune 100s, as well as nonprofits and governments of all sizes and all levels.
And what is the key problem that you address?
The key problem really is communication. How do you convey concepts to non-English markets? And most people are clueless that between only 17 and 20% of the world speaks English, which means that effectively 80% doesn't. And so for companies, especially companies that are looking to expand their businesses, the international markets are key. And another aspect of that would be the ethnic markets here at home. For example, there are 42 million Latinos in the United States who speak Spanish at home. And for companies to neglect them, it overlooks an enormous market right here.
And what is your role for AI in your process?
What's the what, please?
The role of AI
Ah.
in your process.
Well, we've actually been using a form of AI far before there was a name AI. And we've been doing this for at least, our company's 35 years old, so the role of AI has been about at least 25 years. So we have a three-step process, which is with language, with translation, which is anything written, that we use. We first do an AI version if possible. Not everything can be, but most can. Then it absolutely must be edited, reviewed by a human professional linguist who speaks the target language as well as the target industry. So the people who do real estate don't do wine, they don't do agriculture, they don't do law, software, all very different vocabularies. And we use master's level linguists who both ensure that it's accurate and precise, but also do the acculturation, the cultural adaptation.
And you are also a co-founder of your new venture called the EEIC Group, Education, Empowerment, Innovation, and Communication. What is EEIC involved in?
So in essence, we take products or services from concept to funded execution to government approvals, government blessings. And that's the overarching factor of what we do. But very specifically, we're launching a venture in Uganda
Oh,
to
okay.
transform vocational education and effectively uplift the whole country.
Oh, so you're helping them out. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's nice. And how are you planning to implement your AI adaptive learning process?
Well, the venture in Uganda is really four parts. One of them is to convert any content into digital format. So, for example, we can get manuals from the government for teaching vocational courses such as electricity and auto mechanics and AI technicians and so forth. They come with manuals, but the manuals are just printed, not even an original doc file. So the first step is to convert everything to digital format. Once we do that, what we're doing through IntelliDapt, our partner, is very unique and exciting. If you've been raised in the United States or any other country, and most likely the teacher talked at you, your role was to either memorize or learn it and put it back in an exam, and that was it. But what we're doing is to convert these courses into 5 different learning styles, because people learn in different ways.
Oh, yes, I do.
And to then take these courses, convert them into 5 learning styles, translate the content into 5 indigenous languages of Uganda,
Oh.
because for this vocational education, about most of these people are 17 to 25 years old. Most of them are dropouts, and many of them are illiterate in their native language. So we have to both translate it into their native language and then dub it so that they can listen and then do it that way, to proceed. And then the final piece of it is entrepreneurship training. This is something the government also wants, the government of Uganda also wants, to empower these graduates to start their own small businesses. So we will take the entrepreneurship training, translate that into 5 different languages.
And what are you looking for?
Primarily in the Uganda venture, we're looking for investors or people who want to participate with us, not for an ROI, but for branding their company, different aspects of this venture, to get tax write-offs because they will contribute through a nonprofit and then fund this venture, and also to know that they're part of transforming an entire society, which really requires visionary funders.
And how can they reach you for collaboration and advice?
2 ways. One is simply, there's an ancient device, ancient communication device, which has been around for about 150 years, but most people don't use it anymore. It's called a telephone. And it's something that I still use.
Yes.
So people can call us. My number in the East Coast is 267-865-6890, extension 105, or email me, philip@auerbach-intl.com. And that's philip@auerbach-intl.com.
Thank you. Hope to see you next year.
Thank you so much.